Hello, my name is Joseph Fiala with the Light Clinic, and today we're going to be talking about standing meditation. Okay, so standing meditation is one of the fundamental practices of Qigong. It's a fundamental practice in a lot of meditation traditions as well. But in Qigong, standing meditation, we're always coming back to it. It's a great place to harmonize the body. It's known as a universal stance or a universe stance. Universal, when it's talked about like that, means that we're in a state, we're putting our body in a very mechanically neutral position, posturally. So it's a great place for healing. It's a great place for your fascia to do its own sort of re-regulation work. So where your fascia, where we get holds, that's all the connective tissue covering your body. And so if we're working too much like this, if we're down too much on our phones like this strains fascia all through here, the neck and the back of the shoulders. So if we come to a mechanically neutral posture, we release the holds on the neck and shoulders. But that happens everywhere with this stance. It's about lining it up from the feet to the hands, totally mechanically neutral, so that you can release the pressure on your body and you can feel a lot better. And it helps with tons of pain syndromes. It helps with your overall circulation, helps regulate blood pressure, whether it's high or low. It's a really great exercise. Been done a long, long time. So it's also known as posting or Zhangzhonggang, which means standing like a post, standing like a flagpole, and that's what we're going to be working on today. So for posting, what we want to do is we want to have a very comfortable stance. We will start at our foundation. We're going to start with our feet, right? So you don't have to have your feet totally parallel. Sometimes that's not so comfortable for a hip or a knee. So just shoulder width, and then lift your leg up and put it down. And if your hip, like mine on the right, likes to come out just a little bit, so my foot's going to be out just a little bit. But that's where I'm neutral, is with that foot out just a little bit. And then on the left, it's fairly forward. So mine tends to look with a little bit of opening on the right. That's okay. I do sometimes creep that one in on the right and start to try to retrain some of my muscles to bring that foot in. But just do that really slowly. If you do it too much at once, you'll put too much strain on your body, and you'll end up feeling really sore after practicing. And we don't want that. We want you to feel rejuvenated and healthful after practicing. And then you just slowly start inching things in, and over time it starts to change the way that things are lined up. But sometimes it's just our bones are different. People's skeletal bones are different. A lot of joints are different. When you looking at the ball head of a femur and how it fits into a socket, when you look at that in skeletons, and many, many skeletons, they're all totally different. So we sometimes don't have the same mechanical capacity. So we're looking for our neutral. So allow your leg to shake out and just set down wherever it is. Feel fine about where the foot is. Same with the other side, about shoulder width. We're going to sit down into our stance by bending the knees. And when you sit down, you start to take pressure off your low back. When we're really high in our stance, what it's doing by locking out the knees is it's rotating the pelvis, and it's creating this arch in the low back, this sort of hyper arch in the low back. As soon as we start to bend our knees, the pelvis comes under a little bit, and the sacrum loosens up. Everything loosens up in the low back. So if you want to take pressure off your low back, the first thing to do is start bending your knees more. Get stronger thighs, and then you won't have so much pressure in your low back. So bend the knees. You see this a lot in babies, right? This is how babies operate when they're starting to walk. They're all in this state when they're starting to walk. They're using their thighs to hold themselves up. Eventually we get a little lazy. We start locking out, and we use our bones to hold ourselves up. But that is not as good in long run, because we start to create too much pressure on those vertebrae, on those lower vertebrae. So over the feet, bend the knees, pelvis comes under just gently. You don't have to pull it under, just a little bit, a little nudge to make sure that you're getting some extension in that lower lumbar vertebrae. And then we want to find our balance front to back. So just lean forward and lean back a little bit until you find kind of a balancing point right in the center of the foot. And that's where you want to be. And then you can bring the feet inward and out. Supinate, pronate just a little bit. And you're going to try and find the center of the foot side to side. So we end up front, back, side to side in the center of the foot. Sink down into it. Bend the knees. Relax the thighs. We want to be relaxed. This is not a tension posture. So this is where we learn how to hold weight gently. How to hold our weight gently. We don't have to be locked into a position to hold it a long time. We actually, the more you relax, the more blood flow you'll get, the more benefit you'll get. Pelvis comes under gently. Chest can go up or down, right? We want it in the center. So we don't want it too far up. We don't want it too far down. We want it right in the center. Shoulders, you can bring them up and roll down as if the shoulder blades are going down towards your heels. That'll open up the shoulders and chest a little bit. But again, we don't want to be wrenching them open. We just want them in a nice center place. We also don't want them too rounded. So right in the center. Then we just allow the arms to float up. Elbows are a little heavier than the rest of the arm. It's almost like you're feeling a little bit of a weight with a string hanging down off the elbows that pulls the elbows down just a little bit. Find the shoulder blades sinking down towards the heels. Pelvis is gently under, relaxing the thighs, finding the center point in the bottom of the feet. Palms are open and communicating with each other. If you kept drawing from the fingertips, it's a big circle. You're making a big circle. So you draw the fingertips towards each other, it'll be a circle. Just like that. Fingertips open. Space between the fingers so the palms are nice and open like a big bear paw. There's one more thing to align, and that's the head and the neck. So with this one, it's a little bit trickier at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's super easy. Think of what you can do with your head. You can bring the chin down. You can bring the chin up. Obviously, you're going to want it in a more neutral position. But one thing you want to do to help with this curve of the neck is to gently bring your chin back towards the back of your head. So you're going to bring the chin back, like I'm extending it, I'm doing it a little, I'm accentuating it so you can see. But you're going to bring the head back like that a little bit. So you're going to bring it in. So we're not out this far, we're going to bring it back. So the chin comes down, but it's not tucking. It just comes down because it's coming in. And when you do that, when it comes in, what you should feel go up is the very top of the head. So chin comes in and the top of the head goes up. And then you're feeling a little uprising at the top of the head as you sink into the feet. Find your balance front to back, side to side, right in the center of the foot. Sink into it. Relax the knees. Knees are over top of the feet. Relax the pelvis. You want to check your pelvis, just do a couple little rotations with your pelvis. Make sure your back's not spasming, cramping up, tightening, clenching, any of that stuff. Pelvis should be nice and relaxed. So the whole spine is just hanging. You're getting a lot of decompression, very natural decompression through the spine. Shoulder blades down towards the heels. Palms open, communicating, elbows a little heavy. Head top reaches up as the chin and the jaw go back into the head a little bit. And find your spine. It should feel nice and straight. The little curves, that's okay. Little curves are okay. We're not trying to over straighten it, but it's going to be a lot less curvy than we're usually probably holding it. So this is our mechanically neutral place. This is an excellent exercise to get guidance with. Really helpful to have a teacher around, but this is a good way to start practicing it. If anything starts hurting, it could be something that just needs work and you just need to hold and work through it, Or it could be something that's in a wrong alignment. That's something you need a teacher for. I'm happy to give guidance if need be. Just reach out to me. But finding a teacher in person is the best thing that you can do, especially when you're learning this. Because you don't want to practice in a non-mechanically neutral way, because then you'll just create other bad patterns. Or other, patterns that might not be for our best good. So sinking into this, and now let's find our breath, because this is a meditation after all. So we're relaxing our body. We're finding our breath as it moves in through our nose and travels down the spine all the way into that lower belly. And allow your body to breathe. Allow your tissue to breathe like you're breathing through every pore of your body. Keep sinking, keep relaxing. The head top is held up by a string. And the more you sink, the more traction you get on your spine. The head stays upheld on that string. And you sink and just relax the spine. And yeah, the thighs will talk to you, but that's a good thing. We want strong legs. It's a great predictor of longevity, is how strong your legs are. Lots of blood flow through the legs. And keep breathing through your pores, filling the lower belly. And find your inner smile. As if you're just on a riverbank. And your body is the river, and you're just watching the river flow by. Just allowing your body to do its work. Put your body in the right position, and then just allow it. And your body will start talking back a little bit. It'll start raising some alarms, but almost always a false alarm at first. And just smile at it. Tell it everything's okay. And just breathe. Allow your body to do its own exercising. And keep relaxing. Sinking. Finding places you can let go. We'll keep it short today, but you can keep moving this practice, expanding it on your own. See if you can work up to 10 minutes a day. That'd be phenomenal. 10 minutes a day. It's relaxing, breathing. The more activation you get, the more sweat you'll start to get too. That's a great thing. Okay. So to come out of it, we're going to sweep our arms down. Bring our right foot into the left, sweeping the arms up and over, pressing down through the center of the body, all the way down towards that lower dantian. And placing both hands over that lower belly. Taking a few breaths, lifting the hands up and down gently till your feeling of warmth returns there. And don't worry if you don't get that feeling all at first. It'll develop over time. Just visualize the warmth there at first until it starts happening on its own. Good, and gently pull the strings to cinch, close the bag. Pull up on the perineum gently. So we're closing and sealing in what we've done into the dantian, storing it for later, so we don't just let it all go loosey-goosey. Then one finger at a time, opening the palms and letting the body move. It's a great practice. You can do it anytime, and you can do it a lot of times casually if you're at home or at the grocery store or wherever. You can bring yourself into these postures pretty easily. Just doing dishes, just bend your knees. Make sure the weight's under. Put your weight on the center of the feet. That's huge, just doing that. Line up here. If you're too far over, see if you can adjust so that you can be in a good place. But this is a nice, easy posture for us. And the more you train your body into doing it, the more you'll notice when you're not in the right position, and it'll want to bring you back. But great work. Please be sure to subscribe to our videos so we can keep this going together. Thanks for joining me. Take care.